Hello, Stephen.
Hi, Julia.
Thank you for taking time for this interview.
Well, it's a pleasure to be
Um,
here.
yeah, yeah. So I kind of want to show others, or want you to show others, that spiritual healing is not just some creepy stuff, but
So no pressure on me then.
no, no, no. But yeah, it really can help people,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think that's what I want as a doctor as well, to help people. And so
hmm
I think spiritual healing and conventional medicine have a lot of things in common.
Yes.
And so I just want to show people that there is more in common than like creepy, irrational stuff.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, you're a doctor. Well, you're not only a doctor, you're now a healer. You've found your path. But to be a doctor is healing. That's the whole job, to heal people, to make them better, mentally and physically. And that is exactly what a healer does. They just do it differently. They do it with energy.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen. In some cases, um, where I've helped people with cancer, epilepsy, they've been cured, which is amazing. But there are some cases where you can't cure the person, you can't save their life, but they don't have to suffer
Yeah.
before they pass to the spirit world. When they go, or whatever you want to call it, heaven, spirit world, whatever. One example would be my uncle Chrissy.
Hmm.
He had cancer, and it was just part of his destiny to pass to the spirit world, to go back, as I like to say. But the doctors said, "Oh, he's got like I think they said he had like 6 weeks to live." Okay, he had
Hmm.
cancer in his lungs, and it went to his brain, all over his body. But he lived for almost 1 year. Okay,
Hmm.
he become very open to healing, and I used to give him healing like twice a week. And the night before he died, he was dancing,
Hmm.
drinking a beer.
Yeah.
And you just would not know that this guy was covered in
Hmm.
his brain, his lungs, his liver, everywhere. You just would not have guessed that this guy was dying of cancer.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until 24 hours before he passed that the cancer just took over. But he
Hmm.
didn't need to suffer in that 9 months. He got a chance to spend time with his family. He got a chance to enjoy the last part of his life. And for me, that is very important for healing, to help people on their transition of
Hmm.
passing to the spirit world, but they don't have to suffer as much,
Yeah.
if that makes any sense.
Yeah. It makes any sense. Anyone
Exactly.
can like say these things.
Absolutely. And do you know what, Julia? A lot of people come to me and they expect like of these amazing answers. And
Hmm.
I have to be honest, and I'm like, first of all, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm not medically trained, so I can't comment on medication.
Hmm.
I'm a healer, which we work with energy. And I can't make any promises or let you know, like, if that healing energy that's coming from my spirit guide for the patient, how it's going to work
Hmm.
until we see the results.
Yeah.
But I mean, I must say, 99.9% of the time, it helps in some way,
Yeah.
but it doesn't always cure,
Yes.
you know?
Hmm. And yeah, I think we're right into the topic. This is one of the most important messages I want to send out today, is that a healer is not someone you like give the responsibility for your health.
No,
The responsibility for your health always remains with the patient.
exactly. Yes.
I think it's the same with the want from a healer.
Yeah.
They just want to go there. Well, fix me.
They want you to take control of
Yeah,
their life, and it doesn't work like that.
yeah. And I
And I would
think,
imagine the same for a doctor as well.
yeah, and just, So I think this is one of the most important things when it comes to a healer or healing, that no healer, and if a healer says, well, I can cure you, I can help you, I promise you whatever, so you should really run as far and as fast as you can because that's
You have to be very responsible with the words that you use.
yeah.
And it would be exactly the same with you,
Hmm.
Julia, being a doctor.
Yeah, like when I first thought of healers, there were like two possibilities for me. Like, okay, either this person is a fraud who just wants some money,
Hmm.
or he maybe, yeah, has some like mental health problem and thinks he really can do this.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
this is how like skeptics or just say it,
yeah.
like, or explain healers.
Yeah. I mean, look, unfortunately, and I don't like talking about this, but it is quite relevant. And I suppose it needs to be talked about that the world of healing, the world of mediumship, it does attract frauds.
Yeah.
And that makes it difficult for the real people, the genuine people. And I can remember when I was, I mean, I've always been a healer since I was a child. I was born to do this. I've always been connected to the spirit world. Since the age of like 5 years old, I can remember I was seeing the spirit world around me, sending out healing. I didn't really understand what I was doing because to me it was natural. But then it disappeared. And then when I went to school, I had to learn to become, a young man. And when I
Hmm.
got to when I got to the age of 21, spirit came back into my life, the spirit world. And but by then I was 21, and I thought, oh my God, why me? I'm just like a normal guy down the pub playing
Hmm.
football. Like, this is creepy. Like,
Hmm.
why me? And I remember saying it in my head, like, why me? Because my assumption of like psychics and healers were people that were creepy. Like people that had like their hair was dyed purple and they wore beads and robes and I thought, no, I'm not that person. Like, why is this happening to me? Like,
Hmm.
seriously. But it becomes so intense and so accurate that I just thought, okay, I've got to learn. I've got to learn about this. I've got to develop it. So that's what I did. But I was so ashamed. I didn't tell my father for like 10 years or something like that. I didn't tell any of my friends. I was embarrassed
Yeah.
because I knew the way people thought about healers and mediums. It was the same way I thought, the same way
Yeah.
you think.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that I went forward, and I'm guessing by the smile on your face that you're glad that you went forward and followed your gift and you've developed that also because you also do.
So, what do you think it takes a person to become a healer? Like you said, you there was something you couldn't explain, and you tried to find out more about it. Um, but then, like, did you go out and say, "Well, I'm a healer now," or yeah, how long did it take you to?
Well, I think first of all, healers are born into this world.
Mm,
You can't just wake up one day and think to yourself, oh, I want to be a healer. Everybody's born into this world to be a healer. Some people have the confidence to develop that at different times in their life. Okay. Like for me, it was 21.
mhm.
Okay. So I was quite young, but I honestly think that the reason that happened for me so early and was because my destiny in this world was to be a teacher to help develop other healers.
Mhm.
So I had to be kind of like thrown into the deep end, if you like, at a
Yeah.
very early age, you know. But yeah, I mean, how do you become a healer? Well, you don't become a healer, you're born a healer. And if you know that you have that gift, at some point in your life, you will feel drawn to develop it.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's what I would say. Yeah. I mean, there's actually there's a great story. There was this guy. Um, I used to sit in a circle with my friend and teacher Gordon Smith, okay,
Hmm.
for many years. And one of the last people that came into that circle, there was only seven of us. Um, he came into the circle and started developing at the age of 70. So he
Okay.
was 70 years old, right? And in 2 years, his gift of healing and his connection with the spirit world just went bang. He just let go, and he become really good. And
Hmm.
he ended up working in Los Angeles with being one of the cast members of the TV show Friends.
Okay. Hmm.
He ended up working with
Hmm.
the TV show the actors on Friends because he was so good at what he did with readings and healing. But he didn't actually start to develop his gift until the age of 70.
Hmm.
So it's never too late. It's really not never too late, and there's always a right time and a meaning for it.
Like 1 year, I thought, well, how could I learn more, or how could I become a healer?
Hmm.
And yeah, that was the point when I just was thinking about how would I become a healer, and I kind of typed it in the bookstore, in an online bookstore. I just typed in how do I become a healer,
Hmm.
and then this book popped up.
All right, yeah, yeah, that's cool.
And like before I had this like prejudice, like healing is creepy, and I read a few books about healers, but it always like no, it sounds crazy, it's too creepy. And then I was really surprised when I read your book, um, that you described your training or your progress like someone would describe how do I become a cook or whatsoever. Yeah. So you
Right,
just described it very grounded and not any, for me, it didn't feel any spooky. It just feels like, okay, this is my
natural.
experience. This is the way it worked for me. I was very skeptical first as well, but the time and the progress gave me more and more evidence.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my job in this world is to help those that were born to be healers.
Hmm.
Okay, and obviously, I get a lot of people that just think, "Oh, that's really interesting. I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
I'll try." And unfortunately, it doesn't work for everybody. My job is to help the people that were born into this world to be healers
Hmm.
and to help them in their path of development.
Zoom sessions offered via
Hmm.
Facebook. Yep. And I thought, well, okay, I don't have to pay for it. I don't go to any place because I wouldn't, at that point, I would be ashamed to meet other spiritual, for me, crazy people. And like, uh, and so
Uh,
you offer,
for me, I mean, I mean, when I was on my journey of trying to develop, I went to lots of different teachers, lots of different spiritualist churches, lots of organisations all over London, over the UK, and some of the times I walked away being more confused than when I walked in because I was getting all these different answers from people, and I realised for me, if I'm going to be a teacher, then it's best rather than me to just like talk about my own experiences, which are my experiences. You can't really learn from other people's experiences. You have to give them their own experience. That's how you learn. You learn from experience in life.
mhm,
So that's why I just say to people, okay, look, I've got this exercise we're going to do here, and I will guide you through it step by step. And at the end of it, they've had their own experience, and that is where they learn. That is where they develop. There's
mhm,
no point me sitting here telling you about my experiences.
yeah,
That's not going to help. It might be interesting, but it's not going to help you develop,
mhm,
you know?
yeah. I,
You know what? I mean, I was very, very skeptical myself, and
mhm,
that's natural. Real healers, real mediums, when they start to develop, normally 99.9% of the time they are skeptical, and
mhm,
that is natural. It's natural because we're dealing with like an unseen world. You can't see it with your physical eyes. You
mhm,
have to sense it. You have to feel it. Okay.
mhm,
But yeah, I was so skeptical. I remember one of my teachers. actually like shouted at me one time and said, "Stop being so scientific." And I was like, "Well, if the spirit world are real, they better prove it to me. I
Yeah.
want to know. I want proof.
Yeah.
I'm going to test them. I'm going to test them, and they better give me good evidence, and they
Mhm.
better make this real, because
Yeah.
I'm not going to make myself look like a creep
Yeah.
unless it's real." Um, but yeah, so that's what I did.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, my advice for people that feel that they've got a gift of healing or mediumship, first of all, find a good teacher, someone that you feel you can trust,
Hmm.
and that teacher will then give you your own experiences, which will then build trust and prove to you that there's more to the world around us than what we just see.
Yeah.
Okay, and yeah, you're right. There are people that get a bit fluffy,
Hmm.
and they will believe anything. I wasn't one of them people. What I realized, and I'm assuming the same for you, is that my eyes were opened to actually healing and mediumship is part of the real world.
Yeah.
It's just that we don't. Some people don't realize that.
Hmm. And it's something natural.
Hmm.
Like uh, it's been there for 1,000 years, and like
It's been there,
yeah.
been there since human
Yeah.
beings were on this planet.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. Human beings, the human body is not designed to last forever.
Yeah.
It dies, okay? But the human consciousness lives on.
Hmm.
So, you know, I mean, you look back over time, you know, you've got religion, North American Indians, Buddhism, Tibet, Hinduism. It's all based on the consciousness surviving after the physical body dies. So
Hmm.
this stuff has been around since the dawn of time.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
always been there. It's nothing new.
I started with my development, and I started to research, well, is there any evidence? Are there studies who prove that mediumship is not just hocus pocus? And there
Hocus pocus.
really is a lot of research done.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is people just don't bother to look into it.
Yeah.
They don't take the time. But if you look into it, I mean, okay, like for example, my friend, my teacher, Gordon
Hmm.
Smith, okay, he done I think 7 years of tests at
Hmm.
Glasgow University by a guy called Professor Archie Roy and Trisha Roberts.
Hmm.
7 years
Yeah.
tests. They did ECGs, heart monitoring, blind blind tests, double blind tests, and their conclusion at the end of it was, we can't say that this is not real.
Yeah.
7 years, they couldn't prove him wrong.
Yeah.
Okay,
Skeptics, of course, would say, but they couldn't prove how it works as well, so it's all nonsense.
they can't prove how it works. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Um, but I think at this point, everyone has to like find his own truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like for me, it was and still is difficult to, yeah, because I am a doctor. I need facts. I need evidence.
Yeah,
And so I really tried to look on spiritual healing from a point of what, well, I can't prove with hard facts that the spiritual world exists. So many people try to prove it, and it doesn't work. I don't have the resources to really prove it to others. What if I'm wrong? And I it still could be the truth that I just live in an illusion and make all this spiritual stuff up. It's one possibility.
yeah,
I try. It could be. So if it was like that, would it harm someone to get a healing, or would it be beneficial? Can you follow my thoughts?
yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, if you're with a genuine good healer, that it can only be positive.
Yeah,
It can only help.
yeah. But like I said, if I can't really prove, or for me, I found no way to really like 100% prove it to others.
Well, I mean, look, I mean, I would say with you now, Julia, when I first met you to where you are now, is that you can prove it because, as they say in London, the proof is in the pudding. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you do a healing on someone with cancer and they get better, what more proof do you need? You know, if you're working with someone that feels mentally unstable, but then they start to feel better when they have a healing session,
Hmm.
then it's quite clear that it works.
Yeah.
You know, I
Okay.
mean, I remember one guy um, come to me for healing. He had actually this is the better story. Actually, I was because it's related to Austria when I was working in Austria many years back. It was a small town called Needlesden. I
Hmm.
think it was like 20 minutes from Salzburg.
Okay.
Needlesden, lovely little, cute little
Hmm.
Austrian town, very pretty. But anyway, one of the students there asked if she could bring her son, and he had epilepsy, really, really bad. He had to wear a helmet. Um, he started having, I think he was having something like 18 seizures a day,
Hmm.
okay, every single day. And he had to have lots of operations where he'd banged his head, and so he started having them from the age of 7. When I met him, he was 21. Okay,
Hmm.
lovely young guy, Matthias, his name was actually,
Hmm.
and I remember on the third time that he came back, like his dad when I first met him was very skeptical. He was like, "Who are you? How can you help my son?" Oh, you could just tell he was like looking at me like, "Who the hell are you?" Anyway, so I just did my job. I said to my spirit guide, "Please come and help this young man if you can, if it's meant to be, if you can."
Hmm.
And the second time he come back, his seizures had dropped from 18 a day to something like 8 a day. I can't
Hmm.
remember now. The third time he come back, they had stopped.
Hmm.
He hadn't had a seizure for 3 months, and he turned up with all the family, and they brought me gifts. It was really embarrassing because I don't like taking things, but his dad was like, "Oh my God!" And it was his dad. I think it was his dad that said to me, he was crying, and he
Hmm.
said to me, "You haven't just healed my son; you've healed a whole family.
Yeah.
We can go on holiday for the first time."
Hmm.
Because getting on planes was difficult where he was having so many seizures every day, traveling through airports. So yeah, I mean that for me tells me the power of healing. It makes me smile. It warms
Hmm.
my heart to know that it can help people like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I in my case, I didn't have this extraordinary experiences myself
Not yet.
because I just work as a healer in um yeah in the workshops, and yeah it's still very
New.
new for me. But what and if you tell the story, a really skeptic would say, well, okay, it's a nice story, don't know if it's true, there's no scientific proof, there is no documentation, and so on and so on. So but what I tried, or what I my brain needed to go on, is like, what do I have during a healing, or what is the experience during a healing? How can it work? How can I physically explain what happens during a healing?
Hmm.
And so what I found out, even if there was no energy, even if there was no spiritual world, what happens during a healing is that the patient can relax, and there's a lot of evidence that like the brain waves go into a alpha or delta status where healing can happen, or and where self-regulation and self-healing can happen.
Yeah.
And so I think this is for me like scientific reason enough to say spiritual healing uh, has something positive in it.
Hmm.
If you understand it, it's like
Yeah.
really just break it down to the facts I have.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So there's many different types of ways that the spirit world come through and heal people. And just so that your viewers know this, it's not me that does the healing, it's my spirit guide.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I've developed the ability to let go and trust that there is a higher power that
Mm-hmm.
can come and help people and in
Yeah.
some cases cure them, which is
Mm-hmm.
incredible. Um, and I remember the spirit world taught me. I now know how to like I can read energy. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a certain energy I can feel coming out of my hands. It's really hard to describe. It feels like my hand is being burnt, but without
Mm-hmm.
the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone's got a lighter. It's really hard to explain. It feels like someone's setting fire to my hand, but there's no pain, if that makes any
Mm-hmm.
sense.
Yeah.
And that is when I know that they're coming through to remove something from the physical body.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a tumor, it could be whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's sometimes where I know that what spirit are doing is are just they're there to help relax the person so that their own natural self-healing ability
Mm-hmm.
will kick in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some people have that ability to self-heal, some
Mm-hmm.
people don't.
Okay.
Okay. Um, so yeah, that's one of the things that my guide will do with people is just let their body totally go into like silence, empty space, so that their brain can kick in
Mm-hmm.
all their endorphins, and their body starts to naturally heal. It's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why a lot of people, I'll say to a lot of people that come to me, they'll say, "When can I come and see you again?" And I get a feeling you don't need to. I'm gonna give you an exercise how you can heal yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Self-healing, but some people don't have the positivity to do that.
Yeah.
They need a healer. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think like yeah, it's I think it might be really difficult to understand or believe or accept that this energy is real until you haven't felt it on your own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And so
Absolutely.
yeah, because so far there are I think maybe in 20 years this whole discussion is absurd because you can measure this energy. It may be um yeah, but so for now on we can't really like show it or yeah or I think if you are skeptic and if you are not open to believe it, you won't believe it, and you always find some evidence that it doesn't work. And on the other hand, if you want to believe something, you find evidence that it works. And so for me, I think the most difficulty in this process is to trust me and not to think
Yeah.
yeah, to trust me that what I feel is real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, like you said, there's so much evidence out there. Um, I mean, you look over time, you've got prime ministers, presidents that believed in life after death and healing. They had their own private psychics, private mediums. I mean, even Albert Einstein would
Hmm.
talk about energy and life after death if people actually go and research that. So this is not new. It's really not new. There's so much evidence out there.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, maybe we'll do like a part two to this, and I can
Yeah.
bring some. We can talk about like books that.
How would you recognize a genuine healer?
How would you recognize a genuine healer? Okay, the first what I look for in a genuine healer is compassion.
Hmm.
because there's no point in you healing somebody or caring for somebody unless you genuinely want to.
Hmm.
So that's one of the things I look for in a healer. I just get a feeling, but also I can sense if people have genuine compassion.
Hmm.
A compassion is a natural ability to want to help without taking any credit for yourself.
Hmm.
It's just about wanting to help the person.
Yeah.
So, for example, you have compassion.
Yes. I hope so.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you had the confidence to say yes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that's what I look for in a genuine healer is first of all compassion. Because if you don't have compassion, it's not really going to work.
And I think this is what I really want to help other people not to feel crazy or be ashamed of starting the spiritual development. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so easy now to start your um development. I mean,
Mhm.
when you go back to say like 19, 20, 30 in the UK, uh, mediumship was illegal.
Mhm.
You'd get put in prison under the Witchcraft Act.
Yeah.
So when people did circles, it was all done in private
Mhm.
because they were afraid of going to prison.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the world is so much more open. We've got the internet, you know,
Mhm.
it's growing over time all around the world. So it's a lot more easier for people now if they want to get involved in healing and mediumship than it was in like 19.
And I'm 100% sure that I can do more good than I can ever harm people with this spiritual stuff. And
Yeah,
so this is a reason for me to go forward. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And remember, Julia, it's it's my job as a teacher to help the people that are open to
Hmm.
development. It's not my job to teach the skeptics.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not my job.
Yeah.
Okay, and I can only offer healing to people that are open to receiving it,
Hmm.
not the people that are not open to receiving it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay. So I
so
thank you for this
yeah,
interview. I think it was a lot of information. I really want to encourage people to like take the first step because
yeah,
it's a good experience. Yeah.
absolutely. And that's where I mean, I have the best. I mean, I don't even like to call it a job. For me, it's a hobby.
Hmm.
I'm so lucky. I've got the best job in the world, and it gives me so much pleasure to see people like yourself
Hmm.
that have been in a situation that I was, thinking I was crazy,
Hmm.
thinking, what the hell's going on? I need proof, I need proof. And then with experience, thinking, wait a minute,
Yeah.
this is real.
Yeah.
I can help other people and I can develop myself and become a better version of myself.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful thing. I
Yeah.
wish more people would get involved,
Hmm.
but you have to get involved by learning from your own experience.
Yeah.
Okay.